Today I'm talking to Anastasiia Onufriv, a climate activist from Fridays for Future Ukraine. Hi, Anastasiia. Russia has invaded your country. Are you and your family okay right now?
Yes, so far we are okay. But honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen in a couple of hours because we heard rumors that there are real threats to our safety. But yeah, these are so far rumors. But so far, me and my closest people are fine. Thank you for asking.
That's good. As a climate activist in Ukraine, what do you and your fellow activists do?
Um, well, what Fridays for Future does, we try to bring awareness to the global issue of climate crisis. And we organize school strikes, mostly school strikes, um, and different kinds of demonstrations. And what we do in Ukraine is basically the same. Like, we try to bring awareness to the people that there is this issue, and we try to push our local governments to do something about it, to adapt our country to climate change and to do something to slow it down. So that's our job. And me personally, I am more active locally in my small town, all the way in the west of Ukraine. I organized an eco club where I talk with the school kids, teenagers about different issues that are connected with the climate change and environmental issues. That's basically what we do, what I do.
Cool. What has the war been like for you?
It's been hard. I've been safe, luckily. I've had a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. I heard lots of stories of people who are fleeing from the east. I heard that they were fleeing. Like, I have volunteered with the refugees a few times, and like, I have friends and friends of friends who flee from those danger zones on the east, and they say horrible stories. They've been trying to run away, and the soldiers, Russian soldiers, were shooting in their back, and it was super scary. It was super dangerous, and their homes are destroyed. I have anxiety. Yeah, I have anxiety because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen in a couple of hours. I don't know how long I'm going to be safe. And I don't want to leave because I have a brother who is a young man and he cannot cross the border, and I don't want to leave him behind. I don't want to get separated from him. I'm anxious to get separated from him. Um, yeah, I host refugees right now in my home, in another room of my apartment. These are friends of a friend. So it's a young man, his mom, and his grandma. Uh, yeah, it's hard. It's scary because also there are like environmental threats. Oil bases being bombed, nuclear power plants being attacked, and the other like dangerous facilities that are not military facilities, but they have dangerous chemicals. So they are also being bombed and burning. They are burning, like shoe factory is burning. Oh, actually, no, the fire is down already. But it's a lot of anxiety because I don't know I'm not sure about my tomorrow. I'm not sure about my tonight. So it's been hard, but yeah, like I am trying to do something about it. Sometimes I try to get distracted. Sometimes I try to be helpful in the local community. Sometimes I try to like push my fellow activists from other countries to push their governments and to push other people to bring awareness to the issue. That yeah, it's not just like life threatening, and it's not just threatening to Ukrainians, it's threatening to the whole Europe and to the whole world, basically, these environmental issues, because the planet is one, it's our home, it's one. Like it's not like nuclear power plant blows up and like America has nothing to do with it. Like it's one home, and it's gonna touch you too, in one way or another, indirectly, but it will. And there are lots of Ukrainians in Canada. Like my grandma, actually my grandma and my aunt and my cousin with their families, they live in Toronto. So yeah, actually my grandma from Toronto called me on the 24th of February, like 6 a.m. And she's calling, hey, like, wake up, the war is on, go food shopping. It's like, what, grandma, I'm sleepy, everything's fine here in my home, like it's quiet, like what war are you talking about, like leave me alone. But then I start reading the news and like, oh wow, she's right. She was right. It's scary, it is very scary, it is. Yeah, but I try to do what I can, try to cope with it. So that's about it.
I'm happy you and your brother are safe. Oil and gas funds 40% of Russia's national budget. What do you think has caused the suffering in this war?
Well, okay. One of the reasons, I believe, as a climate activist, that one of the reasons of the war is one of the biggest, most important reasons of the war, of all the wars in the world, is fossil fuels. First of all, it's like our economies are like, they are based, they're fueled by fossil fuels. And fossil fuel fuels the wars in the world. So, and now fossil fuel companies, they try to push to use more fossil fuels. So you see the link. And yeah, I believe if I just like, I can't imagine, I've been thinking about it, and I just can't imagine a war in a world where we have just like solar and wind energy, because like it's decentralized. Like, okay, you destroy, like, let's say you cannot destroy all the like solar panels in the world or like in the country, you cannot destroy all the like wind turbines in the country, like it's just impossible. And like you can create new ones, it won't be such a huge deal. But like if you destroy a nuclear power plant, and it's like a catastrophe of the world, yeah, it's a catastrophe for the whole world. If you destroy an oil base, it's a catastrophe for also for like basically the whole world. So yeah, there is a direct link between the war and fossil fuel dependence. So yeah, that's how I see it. The wars are connected to fossil fuels.
What do you think has been the impact on the environment?
Yeah, impact has been huge on the environment. Like, as I mentioned before, at least 2 oil bases were attacked and they've been burning. Then like shoe factory, like they produce, as I remember, yeah, it's a leather shoe factory, which like when you burn skin leather, it's a lot of dangerous there are lots of dangerous gases released into the atmosphere. Then like there is Chernobyl, and they've touched this. It's been a nature reserve since the explosion last century, like 35 years ago, I guess. And now the Russian army, they have occupied it, and they are disturbing the nuclear dust. This is one. Then the electricity, the power has been down there, and it's like really dangerous. If and so far it's working on the diesel fuel, which is also fossil fuel, but who knows how long it's going to last, like another 24 hours maybe. And when it stops, when we run out of the fuel, the turbines, they will stop cooling down, and they can blow up, and it can be another nuclear catastrophe. It's second in Chernobyl, second threat in Chernobyl. Then there is all the way in the east, there is the biggest nuclear power plant in Europe. Like Chernobyl has two, what are they called?
Reactors?
Yeah, right. Thank you. Two reactors, basically. And this Enerhodar, all the way in the east, it has six reactors. Yes, it is like freaking out. Yeah, and they've been attacking it, and like who knows? Like they say, you cannot really destroy the cover, the cupola, but like who knows? Like one source says there is no immediate threat, the other source says there is a threat. So and it's like, if Chernobyl was like horribly horrible, then multiply it by 3, and it's gonna be like the biggest catastrophe in the world. And then also Putin is threatening with nuclear weapons. He doesn't say it directly, but he says kind of like, just destroy them for what it's worth. If it takes nuclear weapons, then so be it, kind of like that. So you see the like how scary it is. So these are like, I'm not talking about, and then like, so these are like the biggest threats. Then there are threats like there are nature reserves where animals are basically left dying without food. There are zoos where animals are left without food. There are lots of pets who are left behind in apartments. Okay, this is not directly connected with environment, but for me, like animal rights activism has direct connection with the environmental activism, with eco activism. So yeah, and then there are other things that can be like, there are other things that can be destroyed in Ukraine. It's not on top of my mind, but yeah. So it is scary.
Oil and gas have tried to take advantage of this crisis to attack climate policies, push for more fossil fuel production, and even bring back canceled pipelines. What do you wish people around the world knew right now?
Yeah, I wish the people knew that fossil fuels fuel the wars in the world. They fuel all the wars. No matter how it started, the war, it continues thanks to fossil fuels, no matter the reason of the war. But the war can exist because fossil fuels fuel the wars, fuel them. So I wish people knew that, and I wish people just refused from fossil fuels. I know that like to create solar panels and wind turbines, you still need to do some damage to the environment. And but this is not compared to what it is now. I mean, I believe we can find a way around to make it safer. But yeah, because I know that to get some crucial elements for batteries, any kind of batteries, you need, I forgot what is the natural element, but it's also it's also in the ground.
Wait, is it cobalt?
I believe so. Yeah, so you need to dig the ground for that too, and you also destroy the environment in the community. But still, it's not the scale of fossil fuels, because when the oil spills, and it always spills where there is oil fracking, there's always oil spilling. So when the oil spills, the local ecosystem is destroyed for at least a dozen of years. So yeah, and then there is also methane that it's like the hottest gas, so to say, the hottest greenhouse gas. When you do fracking, the methane is released and so on. So yeah, that's what I would like the world to remember.
Is there anything you'd like kids to do to help?
You, Robert, are doing a super important job, and I'm so grateful to you for doing it, for being a kid and talking about, for asking all those for asking all those difficult questions. I'm super grateful to you, seriously. And I want the kids to talk about it. I want the kids to not to over not no I wanted to say not to be afraid to talk about it, but it's okay to be afraid to talk about these issues. I want kids to overstep their fears and to have the courage to talk about these issues, to talk about this, because I know that adults usually say, you're a kid, you know nothing about the world. But it's not true. Kids know a lot. Kids can also think. It's just sometimes you kids need adults like your mom who can explain you difficult things in a simpler language. And I also want I want the adults to understand that you just need to talk in different words. You need to explain the terms to kids. And I want the kids who understand, the kids like you who understand the issue, I want you to talk to your teachers, to talk to your peers, to talk to other people. This is super important. And also, I believe also the biggest problem why we have all those big problems in the world, the core problem, the core issue, you could say, is capitalism, the economy of capitalism. Because what capitalism tells us to do, the mantra of capitalism is use and throw away, and save up the money, save up the money, think about yourself, be individualistic, be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. Your comfort is what matters the most. And if you're not happy, go buy something, go consume. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't worry what happens afterwards. It's not your problem. So what I wish the world to remember is that just be more conscious consumers. Consumerism is a religion. It tells us if you consume, then we are happy. Like, we can only be happy if we consume, but it's not true. We are happy when we do things for others, when we take care for ourselves and for others, for our basic emotional needs. And it's important we are happy when we have strong relationships. So we need to just like reach out for each other and like to talk. We need to learn to talk. And also, like, if you learn to talk, there will be no wars, there will be less violence if you just learn to talk. I just wish the world to remember about it. I wish the world learned to talk about, I wish people in the world learn to talk about their feelings, to be more vulnerable, to talk about what hurts, and to talk about what makes us happy. And then only then we can live in peace, and only then there will be no wars. I wish the world remembered that. And only then we can live in harmony with each other, with other species in this world, with the environment, with the ecosystem. Only then we can be part of the ecosystem. And remember that we are not separate from the nature. We are nature. We are part of nature. So yeah, that's what I want the world to remember, I guess. And that's what I want the kids to remember. That we need to consume less. We need to think what we really need and what we don't need, and to also to talk about the issues and to talk about our feelings, because this is what is going to bring peace to us in the world.
What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
My hopes and dreams for the future are, well, the biggest hope and dream is for the war in Ukraine to end as soon as possible. And also after that, I want the world, as long as we have the attention of the world, and I'm super grateful to everybody who supports us. It's been so inspiring and motivating to have this support. It helps us to keep on fighting, to keep on resisting, because we know the world has our back. But I hope that the world also remembered that there are so many other wars in the world happening, like Afghanistan. Like, everybody forgot about Afghanistan. I heard just today that Armenia is being attacked too. And then there is Sudan. There are so many other countries that are in the state of war right now, where kids have to go fight with guns. Like, kids like you, they hold guns in their hands. So I wish the world woke up to all those issues. I wish that this war in Ukraine with Russia right now, I wish that this was a waking up call to the world. This is my biggest hope and dream. And yeah, when the war is over with Ukraine, I just want to go abroad to see my friends and to see my family who's abroad. It's been a while since I was abroad. So yeah.
You should come visit Canada.
I will one day. I will. I have family there in Toronto. By the way, what is your city?
Toronto.
Oh, you're Toronto too. Oh wow. Okay. Now I have another reason to go to Toronto.
That's nice. You should come visit us.
Okay, I will one day. Actually, I want to go on the world tour by bicycle. I love my bicycles. I have two of them. They kind of like friends to me. So yeah, one of them is called Catharsis, and the other is called Mongoose. I traveled a lot by bike in Ukraine, and I want to see the rest of the world by bicycles. I love my bikes. I love traveling by bikes. So maybe I will come by bike to Toronto one day.
I just wanted to say that here in Canada and all around the world, we're all sending you our support. support. Thank you so much for joining us today, and please stay safe. You are a language teacher as well as a climate activist, correct?
Yes.
And Slava Ukraini means glory to Ukraine.
Yeah, Slava Україні. Can you say that? Україні.
Ukraini.
Yay, you did it.
Well, Slava Ukraini.
Yes, yes.
The Canadian government is matching all Canadian Red Cross donations. Is there a charity you'd like to
Okay.
Ridnia?
Yes, yes.
Okay, click the link below to donate to Ridnia.
Yeah, that we would highly appreciate it. It's a charity from my hometown. It's a community fund, actually. Usually they work on developing democracy and supporting local initiatives, but right now all the charity funds are like directed to help us to survive the war. So if you donated to that, that would be a great help to us. Yeah, we would help refugees who come to our town. We would buy food for them, and we would buy like medical supplies, and we would also buy medical supplies and ammunition to our soldiers who are protecting us, who are keeping us safe. And like $10 is like a whole day of meals for one family, or like 3 or 4 members. Just for $10, you can feed the whole family for the whole day.
Okay. Click the link below to donate to Vidnia or the Red Cross.
Yes, that would be highly appreciated. I would really love that. We would be immensely, tremendously great to you people.
All right. And remember, together kids can save the world. Please like and subscribe.
Yes, kids can save the world. Kids are our future. Thank you so much for having me, Robert. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.